Thank you very much, Minister, for that commitment. And we know that despite Canada's leadership, right now in 2024, according to UN Women, of the peace agreements that were signed, only 7% were signed by women, and only 14% of peace mediators globally in the conflicts around the world are women. And I just would like to ask you personally, because you are a very strong woman leader in your own right, who has committed tremendously in your career to gender equality, to women's participation, to women's inclusion. And you've also been defense minister and foreign affairs minister. So you have a particularly unique perspective about why women's voices actually contribute to greater outcomes, contribute to longer lasting peace, and why it is important. So I wonder if you could give us a few of your personal reflections about what is needed and also about what the opportunities are for Canada to lead in this area.
Well, I thank my colleague for this question. Let me say that the statistics that you mentioned are very important. There's another statistic that I think about also, which is that conflict-related sexual violence documented by the UN increased by 87% over the last 2 years alone. And so it is so important to ensure that there are women's voices at the table. The second term of Canada's Ambassador for Women, Peace and Security concluded this year, and our government is currently considering options for how best to sustain leadership on WPS at home and globally. My honourable colleague mentioned previous positions that I have held. I'll say one of the reasons I ran for office in the first place was because I believe that women's voices at the table, at numerous tables, are so crucial in this moment. And in particular, this isn't just in government. This is in public and private institutions, in hospitals, in universities, in corporations, and in not-for-profit organizations also. And as I was a law professor for over 20 years, I tried to focus my research on women and minorities in leadership positions. One of the studies that I did was an empirical study of the presence of women and minorities on boards of directors, because my area of research and writing was corporate and securities law, and I found that women are about 16% of public company boards and about 4% of racial minorities on public company boards. And so this is just an example of the work that I'm trying to carry over to some extent to other areas of my life. That is, there are certain values that we hold dear, and that is to ensure that there are multiple voices at the table. One large voice, of course, is that of women.
Thank you, Minister.